Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Akmal Hazim bin Samsusha. My matrix number is 2022-865004. Okay, so my topic for this persuasive speech is, does buying power is in Malaysia is good enough? So, as we know, buying power is a ability of person or group or company to buy things. Other than that, is like about amount of money that they have to spend for their needs or anything. Okay, so let we move to our first issue for this topic. First of all is about inflation. As we know, inflation is increases of price of goods and services in an economy. As we know, during the MCO, inflation was happened to all country, especially in our country, Malaysia. So a lot of people, as we know, a lot of people didn't have chance to go outside from their house during the MCO. They need to stay at their home to avoid from the infection from the COVID-19. So during then, that inflation was happened because, as we know, most of people were not working, and they have, some of them have been fired from their working, like pilot, cabin crew. So from that we know most of them need to buy a thing, but inflation was happened on that time. So of course it will affect our buying powers, especially for the people who were in B40, because they didn't have much money to buy anything, because some of them didn't have jobs, or as we can say that they didn't have enough money to survive during the MCO. We know MCO in Malaysia is about 2 or 3 years. So as it's confirmed that we will affect the buying powers to our people in Malaysia. So for our second issue is about basic salary in Malaysia. Okay, after the MCO, our minister had announced that on 2023, our basic salary is 1,500 for each company that have below than 5 workers. So is it good enough for us to have a basic salary 1.5k ringgit Malaysia? Because as we know, the price is increases day by day, time by time. So for 1,500, maybe it's good for some people that didn't have any commitment, like they live with their parents, their cars bought by their father or their parents. So maybe it's not, like we can say, not affect them, but it will affect to the family or to the person that have a commitment. As I said, MCO was happened in Malaysia, so most of people didn't have any work. So when the MCO is settled down, they find their job, the new job, with a basic salary is 1.5k. You know what? Maybe it's good for their start, but it would not suitable for all people if they had a lot of commitment. So I think this issue is said that buying power in our country didn't have had a good enough because of the basic salary 1.5k. They need to work more and more to have enough salary to survive during this time, and to commit their commitment like cars or house or family. Okay, so for our last issue is about investment. As we know, it's all about during MCO. No investor want to invest in our country, not because our country is had a low economic or anything, because of the COVID-19. Maybe around all of the world, investors don't want to invest because they need to play safe for their company profit, financial during the MCO. So if we didn't have any investor in our country, so most of company will affect from that. So they didn't have any good buying powers to buy a thing, to produce their product, to continue their business, because like for the bigger company in our country, they need an investor to grow up their business. But if we know, if our economic in Malaysia were not stable, there will no investor want to invest in our country. It's all about and also about the politics also. Okay, for the conclusion, as I can say that our buying powers in Malaysia were not good enough for certain part. Like as we know, like for the T20 people, they had a high buying powers because they have a big income for them. But for the B40, maybe their buying power is low, because I think because of the price of goods or services. Like right now, we know that most foods or groceries were very pricey and not suitable for all people. And maybe the target market is for the T20, but we need to know that in our country we didn't have all of them were T20. We also have a B40, so we need to think about that from their buying powers. So maybe if the price of goods and services will increases furthermore, maybe our buying powers will not increase day by day. So our country need to look at this issue, like about the buying powers in Malaysia. So I think that's all for me. Thank you.